We are officially on track to see the first red month of July in the stock market in the past 12 years. The US and Iran conflict is still ongoing, and we have big tech earnings coming this week, along with some key economic events. I'm a professional engineer and I've been day trading and investing for the past 4+ years. And in this video, I will be going over the top stocks to watch coming into this week, so that you are prepared to take advantage of the opportunities that present themselves this coming week. Coming into this week, in terms of the economic calendar, on Monday, July 27th, it's pretty light. We have nothing, but on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we have consumer confidence, and we need to pay attention to it because at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 30 minutes after the market opens, usually you see continuation if the market's strong, or we see reversals around that time as well. Then on Wednesday, July 29th, the market would definitely be waiting for the Fed's interest rate decision at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and the Fed chairman would have his press conference at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So Wednesday is big. Market will be waiting for it. And the market's anticipating the interest rate staying the same. If it's something different from the market's expectation, we'll see a big reaction. And then on Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, before the New York session opens, we have the advanced GDP numbers and core PCE price index. The market pays attention to this advanced numbers, and if it comes in lower than expected, we'll see a reaction as well. Anything that it differs a lot from the forecast would definitely have a strong reaction from the market. And then on Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we have employment data, employment cost index, and at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we have our consumer sentiment and inflation expectation data. So this week is pretty packed when it comes to orange and red folder news that the market cares about. Now let's move on and talk about our earnings calendar, because we have a busy week ahead of us. We have the big tech names Meta, Microsoft, Qcom, and then Hood and ARM also reporting on Wednesday after market close. So that's something to pay attention to. And then on Thursday, after market closes, we have Amazon and Apple reporting earnings. This week is big, it's significant. Not only do we have key economic events, we have earnings reports from the big tech names that tend to move the market. So managing your risk is important, and also paying attention to what these companies report and what they're going to be forecasting for future quarters. So now we're going to move ahead and look at our charts, and I'll show you what I'm watching. And as usual, I would provide updates to those in my free community on a daily basis. So before we get into the charts, I just wanted to show you this data that I was able to put together. Every US midterm election year, the market has seen a drop. The S&P 500 has seen a drop from 1950 all the way to 2022. And the average drop has been around 18%. And 1 year after the election, the market has returned around 17%. But if you're able to get the low, then 1 year after the low, it's been able to return slightly higher at 26, an average of 26%. This is just data. Also able to compare it to the interest rate environment as well. So far, looking positive. Do with this information whatever you will. This is not financial advice. Let's get into the charts. Now we are on the charts. What's happening with SPY? We finally broke down last week out of this 739, 755 range, but on Friday we tried to get back into the range again. But given what I just shared previously, where do we go from here? If you're leaning towards the downside, you want to see if 735 breaks. If 735 breaks, there's room down to this 732 support level. 732 fails, there is so much room down to 720 on SPY. That's where the selling will be accelerating, and we can even see as low as 716 on SPY. Now, I'm not too bullish on SPY, because even if we get above Friday's high, which is 743.72 right here, there is room to fill a gap at 747.39. Sellers could also step up around this area and send price lower. So I am not too stoked on trading the upside, even if we see a uptrend on the smaller time frames. I want to see us reclaim 750 before even considering and being like, okay, buyers are holding, let's hold 750. Let's see that continuation towards the upside. Until then, it seems like all the rallies are just being sold. Now let's look at QQQ. We have a lot of big tech reporting this week, so the Qs will definitely move one way or the other. As it stands right now, the Qs are holding this 682 support area. If it fails, it could go down, fill this gap at 680, and even go as low as 676. If 676 fails, 670 is the next possible level that QQQ could gravitate to. As usual, I'll be updating those in my free community. And I said earlier, even if the Qs get above 698, it still has to get above 702.80 and then fill the gap at 705, at which point you then be watching a seller is going to step in and push this thing even lower, or a buyer is going to defend price and get us back into the 710 area on the Qs. Now, let's talk about some of the names reporting earnings like Meta. Meta has been showing weakness all year. It would have some nice pops on good news, but it just ends up fading. If Meta happens to fail this 677 support, the next level it could go to is 577 supports. The next level it could go to is 562.94. Lots of numbers, bear with me. If 562.94 fails, next support level is around the 540 area. 540 fails to hold, Meta could go as low as 500. Depends on earnings. Obviously, if the market reacts poorly to earnings, then this name could sell off more. But if earnings are good, Meta reclaims 600 and this 614 resistance gets taken out, it could fill this gap at 627 and then even head up to 650. Now, next name is Microsoft. Microsoft has been chopping around. I want to see if good earnings can take this name above 405, 405, 406 level. If it can't, then Microsoft will most likely stay in chop or even sell off. If the report is not as great as the market expects, it could go down to 359s and even 350. The next name I want to talk about is Hood, just because it's reporting earnings and it's a popular name as well. Hood tried to get to this 120 area, but it failed after attempting it 2 times. Now, where does Hood go from here? If you zoom out and you look at structure, Hood is right now at a key area where buyers might start to step in. If Hood does not hold this 92.92 area, 92.80, it could go lower to 90 and then the 85 area right here, and then this 80 area as well. So looking to see if buyers step up here and try and reclaim 100, and then price will start to reverse, or it could also break down, because if you're a pattern trader, you can see what's going on this chart. It's just failed to go higher. It's tried to go up. Buyers tried, sellers pushed it lower, and it's just been forming lower highs, right? So let's see what happens there on Hood. Earnings will be the decision making catalyst to send it either way. Next name on the list is Apple. Apple has been holding up this market and has taken back its throne as the king of the market. Now Apple is right around all-time highs. Where does it go from here? I want to see if Apple is able to hold above this all-time highs, and if price is able to go up, come back, retest and hold it, and continue to push higher, then Apple will continue to be the strongest name in this market, strongest tech name, rightfully so. But if we start to see failures and a failure below like this 330 area, Apple could come back into this range again. And if at any point 317.32 fails and Apple has a gap to fill at 314. Right now, this chart is strong. Shorting it has to be just quick day trade scalps. Don't overstay your welcome. But so far, Apple has been the strongest. And if you're an investor in this name, you're happy. Right. Next name is Amazon. It's also reporting earnings on Thursday, along with Apple. Amazon has just been nothing to write home about. It's finally breaking down and showing way more weakness. And I want to see if this 325 level holds. If it fails, Amazon has a long way to go, even down to fill this gap at 213.78. Not really interested in this name until I start to see some basing, like true basing. Even then, like all the pops have just been sold on this name. So let's see what happens if Amazon fails 225. There's room down to like 220s, and then below this 219.62, this is where you want to set your alerts and just be mindful. If it fails, this 213 gap fill would just be a higher probability trade that would play out. Now, what's next? Tesla had some of the worst earnings that it's reported in the last 2 years, right? So rightfully so, the market reacted and it sold off. But Tesla is approaching buying areas. And on Friday, after it sold down into this 306 area, we saw a little bit of buying into close. Now, as for Tesla, a few things could happen here. If it loses Friday's support at any point, 306.50s, there's room down to 300, and even this 297.82 area and 295.82 to fill the tiny gap there. If that support area doesn't hold, 288 is possible. Even if Tesla decides to bounce and we see buyers step in at any point and we get above this 342 area, there is a gap, right, that Tesla could end up filling, which would be a strong move, but that does not mean that it's all clear, right? It could be that sellers are just taking profits and going to re-short this market, and then we could see it come lower. Just wait till you start to see a base on this name so that you do not catch a falling knife. The earnings were not good. The market is also in a tough spot. So be mindful, any move into this 369 area, sellers will still be in control and could send price lower. So even if we see an uptrend strong day, sellers will still be waiting around this 342 area is one level. Even if buyers are able to take that level out, sellers will still be waiting around this area to reshort this name. Now, the last name on the list is actually second to last name on the list is AMD. AMD, it's been in chop. It's basically consolidating. It's had down days, it's had up days. Now, where do we go from here? I'm not really particularly interested in trading AMD inside this range that it's formed. I don't want to trade it. I want to see it break down, break 460 with like volume, with enough sellers, and then we could go down to 437 and even fill the gap at 414. And there's room lower even into 395 if this name decides to sell. It's had a solid year. It's had a solid year. Wouldn't be surprised to see profit taken on this name. As for upside, if AMD is able to clear above 580 at any point, 600 is inevitable. It would most likely come. The last name on the list this time is INTC. INTC reported earnings last week. It was good, but we still saw a reversal, an earnings reversal on this name. It's now broken 100 again and 95, and it's coming down into support areas of 85, right? If this support areas fail to hold, Intel will most likely see this 79.666 area on Intel. That's where it will probably gravitate to. This is shocking because this name has actually fallen more than 35%, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, around 35%. So if you believe in Intel, you know, you know what to do. Like it's a fair price at this point. I believe it's not overly expensive, but then I won't be surprised if it comes down to fill this gap from April. That would be brutal for people that tried buying this name around the 120s. it would be like a 50% drop at that point. But if it fails 79.66, if it doesn't hold, this gap fill is definitely in the cards for Intel. Now I've given you a big forecast, but thank you so much if you watched till this point. I appreciate you. I have a cold, as if you couldn't tell. Just trying to get this video out so that you're prepared and you know what to watch. And if you're not in my community yet, click the link in the description and join. Please like, share, subscribe, and help me grow this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one.